This is how I became delusional in Alone in the Dark. So, the game starts off with a froggy boy. Dad gets just a normal, happy life. And oh my god, I got eaten by an alligator. Yeah, alligator. And this takes place, I think, in the 1920s in New Orleans. That's all I know. And it's called Alone in the Dark. If you haven't read the title. And this is about two characters, Edward and the other one. We're gonna call her Lacey. So Lacey got her uncle has been possessed somehow. And she says it runs in the family business. It's a family business. So Edward Scissorhands and Lacey go to some kind of strange hotel where his uncle lives. Her uncle lives. And then this is where the whole game takes place. And if you're wondering why I'm speaking so bad, it's because it's midnight right now. I always record my videos at midnight. Why am I doing this? What? So now we can choose our characters. I didn't look at Lacey, so I'm just gonna call her Lacey for this playthrough. And we chose Edward Carnby, also known as David. So I chose him because he is the guy from Stranger Things, and it's a good show. Recommend it. And what we need to do is find another way in because the door is locked. So we're technically breaking in. And that means let's steal some gold. And I go in to, you guessed it, steal the uncle's fortune. Wait, wrong thing done. And then chapter 1 begins. We find a flashlight. And yeah, you're probably wondering, where's the audio? Where's the audio? It's because my audio sucks. If you want to watch it, go on Twitch. And I got the key, I opened the door, I got in a room with leaves. And then, out of nowhere, crows started running away. Flop. Anyway, we opened the door, we got another key to open another door, and then we got the Bible that I need. I really need the Bible, I really need it. Okay, and then we needed to find another key. There was in the room right beside it. Literally right here on the map. The Piazza key. And I came in. And the maid started interrupting us because we were breaking in. What maids do is what maids do. And I say, no, we're going to see an uncle. Uncle Grandpa! And then she says, yeah. And then a little child talks to us. And Edward says, do I know you from somewhere? Because I think the child is, Chucky. Yeah, I think the child is Chucky as well. From the movie. And the kid says that he's lost. And then Edward says, don't I know you from somewhere? And that lady, she's not attractive. And then the guy with the hat came, who's clearly drunk. And then he started yapping about things. He started yapping and yapping and yapping and yapping. And then the mate says, okay, I'm having enough of your yapping. Go through to the next door and you will get to him. But he's gone. And so they need to go and find the uncle. They need to find Uncle Grandpa, so they go upstairs, but the mate says, warns them. But, of course, Edward doesn't listen. But she gives them directions anyway. Thank you, madam. And then they go through a door, which is very normal. And then they go into the room of the uncle. I'm sorry if I sound really tired because I am. And then, thanks to Grace Eleanor is now following me on Twitch. Big shout out to them. Please go to my Twitch and name of follow. And then I puzzled the puzzle and I got the Antikythera from Indiana Jones. And I think my character, Edward, is beginning to be delulu. Because lots of weird things have been happening since we got here. And he says, oh my god, that old man has so much stuff. Bro, it was 1950s. There was nothing else to do. And you can see the chat, so yeah. Oh my god, I found my favorite Taylor Swift album. Yes! So she opens the package and it seems there is a painting of a man in there. And this is how we see him becoming delulu. He keeps watching at the man with the reflection and he thinks, what the hell? He's becoming just delulu. Edward, why are you becoming delulu? And now he says, wait, I am delulu. And he thinks he's high from the party last night that he had, so he goes to therapy after the game. This isn't canon, by the way. It's something I just made up. And then he really becomes schizophrenic because everything becomes really dark. The title, and then he looks in the room and says, what the hell, this is the room where I was in. And then we are in the upside down from Stranger Things. That's why I wonder they picked the same actor. And then my chat became way too big. My chat really became way too goddamn big. And then after the chat was way too big, I went to the store. I wanted to go to the store, but some random schizophrenic monsters went behind me. And I said, oh yeah, I have a gun, so it doesn't matter. And oh my god, in America there should be jump scares always. America, the land of guns and jump scares. And then I went to John Conqueror. British. So I went into the store and I was looking around, snooping around like a little Snoopy. And then behind me became, oh my god, it's Mike Tyson. And no, it wasn't Mike Tyson. I didn't even know who this guy was, but he sure looked tough. Oh, I think his name's Jeremy. The Pact with the Dark Man. He was really badass in this game, by the way. I still haven't beaten the game, by the way. And this is the 1920s, so $150 that time was like now $1 million or some. No, $1,500 right now. So that's really a lot. And he's been yapping about what happened, and this is something with voodoo shit and something with memories. And then he gave me a key to look around, and then he said, "I'll be back," like the Terminator. I got the keys, I ran through, I killed a monster that I died like 5 times of in stream. You can look at that stream. And then I opened the gate to the other world. Yes, I got isekai. And then I got into another room where I had to solve another puzzle. And I did the puzzle. The Antikythera from Indiana Jones. Dial of Destiny. Why am I referencing this? I don't know, it's midnight, so you try doing a video at midnight. I dare you. You will be tired. And then the door opened, and then I realized I was schizophrenic, and I just sleepwalked to the doctor's office. And now I'm realizing I'm becoming schizophrenic. And the doctor says like, no, you're not schizophrenic. You just had too many drinks last night. Want another drink though? That's literally what he says. He says, you want another drink? I got lots of drinks. I'm an alcoholic. And then I met the doctor and I gave him my ID card. And he said, oh, you're a detective. Edward Scissorhands. So, welcome to the French courthouse. Because the French stole everything. I am joking, but also not. Not joking. And then came chapter 2. And then I walked out of the door, and the girl I was talking to immediately thought I was schizophrenic. She was talking to me like, oh, you are schizophrenic. How dare you? Okay, I'm sorry. He was becoming delulu. He was becoming very, very delulu. And he thinks he's schizophrenic, but he's actually delulu. He's becoming so delulu that he's becoming delulu. And then they were arguing. And they said, detective, you need to be yourself and not anyone else. And then he said, fuck you, I'll do it on my own. I am a solo man. And then he said, okay, I can do this, I can do that. I am gonna be reading in my book. And then the drunk man came again, and he says, hey, detective, I am also searching for someone. You're searching for your guy, and I'm searching for my guy. It's a little child that is like this high. She's 14, and I really need her back. And oh, no, I am not a predator, sir. And I just need her. She's my apprentice. So, I'll help you find your guy, and you help me find my guy. So, if we have a deal, I scratch your back, and you scratch my back. Not joking. Look at the title. They have said that. He says that. He goddamn says that. And then I'm suspicious. And then I'm walking into the next room, opening the door, and then I realized I'm still schizophrenic. So I run. I open the door once again, with this time, I don't know what that thing is anymore. I'm way too tired. I cannot name things. An old cutter, I think. And then I opened the door. Nothing was there. And then, oh yeah, I didn't record this. because I was tired and I forgot to click the record button. Sometimes I do that, I'm sorry guys. And then we had a whole adventure, and then I found the second one. I also forgot to record that. Or we found that one. And then we had to make a puzzle. I'm not showing you that puzzle, but we got On-Demand trophy. And then was blah 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 about clock or something. I got a Glock in my clock. And then I had to solve another puzzle with the Antikythera from Indiana Jones. You're not getting these references, are you? I'm not blaming you. I'm really tired. And then he saw a suspicious room. And then when he walked into the hallway, he became delulu again because he's somehow in a swamp. What are you doing in my swamp? And then he said, hell no, I am gonna look for the Jeremy. And then he was just walking around. He was googling. He was googling and googling everywhere. And he got the bridge lever. So what did he do? He walked slowly and carefully. Nah, just kidding. He fell off the window. Just kidding. He got jumped. And then he fell out the window like a crackhead. And then I walked on a ladder. But I realized, oh wait, this has to turn off. So I shot the dog. I shot the dog. He died. I opened it again. I made it work. And then I started walking. And I became delulu again. It's now Florida's lava. Yay! And I was really scared for this level. Don't know why. You can go to my Twitch if you want to see more footage of this. And then when I came all the way up, still nothing happened. I had to go around. I got tough cloth that I of course used as my strategy of using a zip line. Yes. You. And then I was just walking and then hey, I'm walking here. And then suddenly the fucking Cthulhu spawned in. Some kind of demonic beast spawned in. And I thought, no, not again. I don't want another deer. And it was a demonic creature. And then I walked to a cave, and then a cutscene played where the guy, Edward, was just talking to random women. But my theory is that Uncle Grandpa, aka Jeremy, has these memories, and he's playing in these memories because he is also being possessed. And that is my theory. And then he got flashbanged by a lady. I really need to go to sleep, man. Wait, am I even filming this video? Am I even recording this video? And then she was talking. Here we go again. And then what came? Guess what came? Oh my god, the deer man! The deer man came. And then she died. Just kidding. I saved her with a gun. America, the land of the guns. And then I became back. Wait. Wasn't this part 1? Wait. Is this part 1 or part 2? Ah, shit.